What is your best thing? What are you sharing with us?
I think the best thing is, well, I shared a bunch of wins in the forum like a couple weeks ago, and one that I didn't share was so Mike Lucas did that. He did us a post about renegotiating your retainer based on like results that you've been getting and things like that.
Right.
So I basically took his template. So I have a client that I've been working with for the past 13 months or so. And we never renegotiated our retainer. It was just like, this was what I was getting. And that's just what I invoiced like always. Right. And I was thinking, and over the course of the year, like lots has changed about how we work together, which is also what we spoke about kind of when I joined Copy Chief, was doing more consulting and strategy, less like long form stuff, still doing that, but like the main kind of bread and butter is going to be more brain work rather than like finger work. Right.
Right.
And so I basically took Mike's template and rewrote it with my own results, literally word for word. I just took his stuff and just used it.
Liked it.
Yeah. And I think even the same like subject line, I don't even know. But anyway, so they took that back and came back to me. I think I asked for like I think what I asked for was almost a 60 or 70% raise. Like it was kind of a big number. And what they came back with was kind of a switch in roles, which is more closely aligned with what I'm going to be doing. But also, let me just calculate this. Hold on. Yeah, 43% raise, right? On just my base amount, right? So, I mean, it's that so what I learned was really that what you're doing, like what you're actually doing day to day, if you can prove results, and I didn't ask for this, what I learned is I didn't ask for this before I had results, right? I didn't like just say I'm working hard, right? Yeah, so, exactly. I'd like to do this, right? It came after saying, here's a few campaigns that we worked on well. These are the results that we got. These are actual dollars that came in because of things that we did. And when you actually have those numbers, I think it's natural to then just say, okay, well, what did they pay me? And what did the numbers provide? Was it worth their time having me here? Right. And was there an ROI on my existence? Right. So if I can actually like have if I can make sense to increase it to an amount that still makes it positive for them, then I just think it just makes sense both ways. Right. So that was just the win. And it's almost like if you have been working with some people, sometimes I got into a rut of like finding new clients and always like trying to find new things instead of saying, okay, well, I've got this roster of clients that I've got results for. Why don't we just nurture and build there? And that's what seems to be working.
That's great.
What I'm doing. So yeah.
Yes, it's so much energy onboarding new clients, and it's good to have fresh energy in your world. But like you said, man, like, it makes me think of, man, is everything needs to be sold all the time, you know? And so you had to go sell them, remind them, show them, just like you would in any sales letter, evidence that something's working really well.
100%.
And, we can't be hesitant to do that in our careers, because it is a proposition. And, especially in a new year is a really good time to do that, because it's not like you said, like what I love about it is it was numbers based. And if you have numbers, you got to use them. Right.
Yeah, it was a logical and an emotional argument, right? It's like, look, we've worked together for a year. There's a lot that comes with that, right? When there's a project, you don't have to relearn a voice. You don't have to, relearn the story of the guru that you're writing about. You don't have to relearn all the nuances of things that you can and cannot do, and all the things that have been done. You get to kind of like embody that, right?
Exactly.
And that's kind of intangible. But you have to bring that up, because sometimes a lot of people assume that copywriters can just come in and it's like, boom, you get it right away. right?
Like we're robots or something, right?
Yeah, when the reality is we had some big flops this year too, right? But it's the willingness to like know that, you know, okay, we're gonna just keep working, and
That's
eventually
right.
we're gonna get winners, and then we'll just grow on that, right? So
Yeah, they don't, and I can tell you, any business owner savvy enough to keep a copywriter on retainer for a year does not want to lose that copywriter if things are going well, and you can show them for every reason Darren just said. Man, they are not looking to find somebody new. And you know, look, they're probably not going to bring it up themselves. Maybe we should be paying Darren more. We should.
But that's how, he actually said that to me. Like we had a conversation, and I said, look, we need to talk about like some compensation. He said, look, put it in an email, you know, and I'll go to, you know, the guy that owns the company. And you know, he said, look, he goes, the funny thing is like we're never going to come to like a contractor and say, look, we want to pay you more, right? You know, unless you ask for something that's so below what, like just it would be rude to pay you. But yeah, like he said, like, you know, you have to come to us, you know, come to us with a proposal, you know, be the professional and say like, look, this is how I'm operating my business,
right?
You know, and approach them as equals, not like, oh, like Mr. like big business person, please pay me. Like it's not.
No. You're partners, and it's in a relationship. But I think that's also kind of what gets us confused as freelancers, because the truth is, look, the reason we're so good at what we do is because we care so much, but it's also can be our Achilles because we care so much, and we take it really hard and personal when things don't go great. And we are, you know, it's important to us to have a good relationship with our clients whenever possible, right? They want some of that, but they don't think like we do. They're not freelancers. They're not codependent on relationships. They're numbers crunchers, and they think
and they're not really thinking about you either.
They're not thinking about you. I hate to say it, unless you're late on something.
Yeah, but
then you get lots of attention.
About us as much as we're thinking about them, right?
Exactly, like, exactly right. So, it's a bit one-sided that way, and so like that. I love that what that person said to you, man. You got to be proactive, and you tell us how this goes down. That's what we call, you know, in RFL setting the standard, right? Like you got to let people. And I tell you what, as a business owner now and a person who hires lots of contractors, I love it when they come to me and say, this is how this is going to go down. And I hate when they say, oh, I've been waiting on you to tell me what needs to happen next. And I didn't want to be too pushy. I'm like, well, that's why the project's not moving forward, because if you could see my dashboard, there's a lot of things going, and a project that hasn't started yet isn't getting the attention of the ones that we're trying to keep up with. Right. So, man, yeah, be bold, it's not even aggressive. It's just forthright, right? And say what you need. And the other cool thing, Darren, is that you didn't, I'm assuming you didn't get caught up in, oh, what is this worth to them? Or what would they be willing to pay? Or what have I heard they might've paid other people at other times? You said, this is what I need for the value I have. And the truest thing about any negotiation, you have to be willing to lose the gig to say your number. There will be, you know, some back and forth. It's called a negotiation for a reason. But the way to have the ultimate leverage is, are you willing, if they go, dude, we don't see you being worth a penny more than we're paying you now, go, well, I know somebody out there is, and I'm willing to go find them to replace you.
Yeah, and that happened on a negotiation from one of the roundtables at Copy Chief Live. I sent my fee. She sent back, she said, that is more than we would ever pay any copywriter in any universe ever. Right? So you know, I was like we're not
a fit.
We weren't even in the same like stratosphere to negotiate, right? So I was like, okay, like there's more, right? But there's copywriters that would love to do that are perfect for it, right? So
exactly, right. And that's the thing that is such a vast. It used to be easy to calculate. How long have you been doing this, Darren? You've been around a minute.
Oh, since 2011.
Okay. So I got like 5-6 years on you. And it used to be, there was sort of only a few different ways to package service as a copywriter. And so it was kind of easy to know what's the going rate on this stuff, right? What are the really hot shot copywriters making? What's the newer level affair? And that was it. Now, man, there's so many different ways to get paid, and so many different things you can provide, that you've got to make the price for you. It has to come down to, what is your time worth and how much time is it taking you to devote to that person? And if not, will somebody else pay more? Because the options are out there. So
yeah,
that's cool, dude. Thank you for sharing that, man. Really valuable.
Thanks for having me. Happy New Year, everyone.
Big shout out to Mike Lucas. I know that means a lot to him because Mike's not even a
don't blow his head up.
Yeah, man. He's, Mike's only been sort of figuring this stuff out for a few years. And if you've heard us talk about it on the podcast, this all happened very organically for Mike. He just started writing out of passion and people started coming to him and wanting to pay him for it. And then it became a business, right? And then he had to sort of learn and follow new instincts about how to go and negotiate better prices. Super cool. Awesome, Mike. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you, Darren, for doing it and sharing that.